tagging is going back to kind of, I mean, we probably mention it in all the FinOps videos that we ever do, because to be fair, it is probably the best IT tech book that I've personally ever read, which is the one with the bird on the front, the FinOps one, which you've got a copy of. You've got a copy of there as well. I think the way they explain tagging in that as well. You mentioned your pin drop moment. I think that for the tagging element of it, the pin drop moment for me was related back to that chargeback and that showback, but then also how the methods that we're already using in ITAM for tagging, kind of like what you said before, can very easily be translated into FinOps and into the cloud environment. But again, going back to what you said before, we need that glossary or that kind of translation in terminology, sorry, so that ITAM and FinOps are both talking the same language and we're both talking about the same thing, right? But I just love the fact that even high level tagging, you know, even if you're sat there watching this now, all two of you, hi mum, even if you've got no kind of tagging at the moment, just to be able just to even do it by department on a high level, to say marketing, HR, portal, e-shop, whatever it may be, is a start. You can build off that.
Yes. Yeah, it can be an evolution, not a revolution. It doesn't mean that you have to sort of tag every goddamn thing that's in the cloud.
Every living thing that's going on.
Yeah, but start somewhere. It's that thing, you know. It's not whether you finish, but it's the fact that you start. Yeah, you have to start somewhere. One thing that leapt out at me at the Cloud FinOps book as well, and I did feedback this to. I've been speaking with a guy called Rob Martin, who's head of training. There we go. At the FinOps Foundation, and also Ben Demora, just to give them a name check, as it were, is this idea that where you're trying to get to with FinOps, I suspect, is sort of dashboard management, so that you have the latest and freshest data to make informed decisions as near real time as you can. And one thing that I'm quite keen on is, if you're starting to do trend analysis over time against either IT services, whatever sort of statistics you pull out to manage your cloud, is not looking at a 12-month line across a chart to talk about increased consumption or reduced consumption, but understanding the why behind the what.
Yeah.
And what FinOps doesn't currently address is the knowledge management or the decision management that was taken to either accommodate that spike or accommodate that trough. What did we do? Or you can probably glean what did happen or what didn't happen, but why?
Yeah.
And if you're like me, if you asked me what I had for dinner 3 days ago, I couldn't reasonably tell you. But expecting me to remember why a service stack sort of increased or decreased 3, 6, 9, 12 months ago, forget it. So factoring that into an overall solution around FinOps, I think needs to be in place, because otherwise we're losing the intelligence of the informed decisions that we made in time gone by.
Nice way of putting it, but I bet you can remember what you had for dinner 3 nights ago.
It was probably something with pasta. I'm pretty sure it would have been something with pasta.
Nice. And I think just digging down a little bit more on the tagging, because you mentioned working on stuff with the ISO standards as well. What would Nirvana look like for tagging? Would it be that you have that hierarchy structure of department or cost center, but then you said in jest about you don't have to tag everything in the cloud, but is the ultimate end goal to have everything tagged so that you can do that recharging and you can do showback on which cost centers have increased spend, reduced spend, how much they are spending on cloud on like a monthly basis or whatever?
I think we need to go back to the beginning to understand what Nirvana looks like, because Nirvana is different for different organizations, I suspect. So understanding what tags are capable of is step one. Then understanding what the business wants the tags to address is the next step. So it's all very well saying we can, we can tag the entire cloud and we can get it down to, 100% coverage, which is, again, is, good luck on that one. But it's saying what purpose does it serve to go down that route. So it's understanding the business drivers to actually tag in the first place. Once you have those in place, then that determines how deep and wide you go with your tags.